moderators told the community that the game would be taken offline in 16 hours. People rushed to play one last time. Servers filled, people said their goodbyes. And 16 hours passed, but nothing happened. The game was still online. Sometime before the announcement, something had happened that would eventually have consequences for the community. A DMCA request was filed by the legal team behind DAPU. So, the Arasio devs had an issue. They decided to not fight with the DAPU developers and take the game down. This was done to avoid having to pay to go to court. At the time of this recording, Arasio developer CX released an announcement last week discussing the DMCA requests. On November 13th, 2025, and almost every day from December 1st to 11th, a law firm named MG LLP had issued a DMCA notice on behalf of the DAPU developing team. The developers from DAPU say they have no involvement in this, and it was the firm. These notices are for many reasons, from copyright infringement to attempting to take down game servers. You can view the announcement on the Arasio website. Few days later, after the first DMCA strike on November 13th, the developer of Arasio decided to step away. Damocles decided to leave Arasio, leaving the game with an uncertain future. Moderators confirmed that the shiny subscriptions were being permanently deleted. This meant that Arasio developers would not be getting any more revenue. A shiny subscription is a Discord subscription that you would pay monthly to get special perks in-game, like a new sandbox for shiny operators, accessing extra servers, and a lot of extra tanks. When this happened, people began asking for refunds for these shiny subscriptions. People started to realize that Arasio wasn't just a game, it was a project that had run out of time. In the chaos, new groups rushed in to make a game that was similar to Arasio. They wanted to make a sequel, so many people would make a new Discord with some new promises. One of the biggest was Dacario, owned by the Arras police, a YouTuber. Dakar 2 would add permanent siege, sandbox, along with keeping the Dreadnoughts feature from Arasio. It had a scenic side remake as well. The community wanted hope, they wanted a future, but these games didn't have a full developer team, nor any legal protection. They were just passionate fans who were working for a studio. At the same time, the situation evolved. It wasn't only Arras at risk. DAPU creators were also at risk. A lot of people started spreading rumors, digging up dirt on developers in the community. These messages spread quickly. Some creators called it a war between games, but the truth is more complex. Now we'll be talking about the background information. A developer named CleverYeti was contracted to work on DAPU's UI interface. Eventually, he was released due to some issues internally because he created a game similar to DAPU called Arasio. This was a small game. They did not have a lot of players, nor any full funding. The plan was to keep it running with ads if possible and build the game together with the community involved. During all of this, old screenshots began spreading. Messages from private conversation between the developers from months ago were spread. These were not from when the DMCAs happened, they were about Arasio, back when tension existed over the project. People reposted them as if they were connected to the shutdown, though they posted them without context, and people had assumed they were related to the DMCA notices, leading to the spread of misinformation. DA players asked about the situation. The lead developer, Mistik, claimed he was not involved in sending DMCA notices. He explained that the legal actions were handled by a hired firm, not by him personally. No one had the full picture. Information was incomplete. The truth was somewhere in between. So, players were left trying to connect the pieces, with no clear answers. And while everyone in the Arasio community was focused on the shutdown, another issue appeared inside the game itself. Cheaters. Players reported multi-box scripts, controlling multiple tanks at once, reaching massive score numbers. Some even suspected that the restorer permissions might have been involved. Restorers have the permission to restore a tank that people have saved in previous times. These permissions were normally harmless, but if exploited, it gives a huge advantage. No public action was taken. Illegal scores kept multiplying, and the community watched it unfold in real time. And despite all the warnings, despite the countdown, Arras remained online. 16 hours passed, and then 24, and then days. The shutdown was expected, but the decision may have been changed. Nothing was taken down, and nobody was sure what would happen. This wasn't just a single incident, it was a sequence. No single instance explains everything. Each step led to the next, and everyone is watching what comes after. At the time of recording, the Arasio developers argue that they respect other games developers' property. Their game concepts are too simplistic to be used as copyright. Simple polygons like squares, circles, pentagons, rectangles are something that cannot be copyrighted. They also mention they do not copy any assets or code from the GA developers. Right now, nobody knows what comes next. Arras may stay online for weeks or disappear without warning. One thing is certain though, the community deserves the full truth, not rumors, assumptions, or fear. We need the truth. We will continue to track the situation as it evolves with real information as time goes on.